leagues. Tonight, we find out who goes to Las Vegas. Joining me on the set is Andre Gritorp Hengshua. Andre, we saw some great games last night, some upsets when it came down to the league.
Yes, we did.
But tonight, it's going to be serious upsets because some of these players and some of these teams are not going to join us in the finals.
Yeah, yesterday marked the day where it ended group stage play of the WGLNA. Today, we get to find out tiebreakers and playoffs. I'm so excited because, honestly, we've kind of built a story, but also we've built a relationship with some of these players, some of these teams. And it's going to be awesome, but also heartbreaking at the same time to see some of these teams go.
Not everyone can go. That's the name of the competition. But we'll have 8 of the best North American players joining us in Las Vegas August 17th and 18th. Also, real quickly, this day in history is brought to my attention by Randall that in 1914, Austria-Hungary declared war on Serbia. Austria-Hungary declared war on Serbia. Everything shifted after World War I, World War II, all these different countries. But it's because of that it led to the precipitation of World War I.
World War I, yes.
That is amazing, man.
There was an assassination.
That's almost 100 years ago.
You know, the reason why World War I started was because of an assassination, right? That's so cool.
Well,
like one single person.
There's other things, too, occurred.
No, it was just the assassination. But think about that. It's like this bullet, and now a war.
But
world war.
Who is behind that bullet? Who's behind pulling that trigger?
I know this. Karl Rove.
I don't think so. I don't think that's right.
No?
I don't think that's right. All right, let's go ahead and talk about the matches that are available tonight that we're going to see. We have River of Blood versus Simple Tankers. That's going to be coming up in just a couple minutes. Cunningham's versus Wreak Havoc, which we just spoke about. This is a revenge match from last night. Then we have Simplistic versus EC. Now, after that, these are going to be the tiebreakers. After that, Group A, the 4th position, will be up against Group B's 5th position. This is the loser of River of Blood versus Simple Tankers versus the winner of Simplistic versus EC. Now, the winner of River of Blood versus Simple Tankers goes to Vegas. That's the same for Cunningham's versus Wreak Havoc. So we see the same thing in the next match. The winner of Group A, 5th place, will go up against winner of Group B, 4th place. And the winner of Turtle Police versus Bear Huggers or Cazadores, which is a 3-way tie currently, will go up against the loser of the Cunningham's versus Wreak Havoc. Some people might be asking themselves, why is it like this? Well, it's because of tiebreakers, which is big right now happening. It is kind of crazy.
How many teams have actually tied out in overall series? You would think there would be a much higher discrepancy, much higher discrimination, but it turns out a lot of these teams, even though we saw, in my opinion, a gigantic disparity, they've worked themselves up, and it's the whole pack that's moved up. We saw Refuse to Die, who is sitting on the bottom of the league, play fantastically against a team like Simple Tankers, who, of course, from Team Simp, considered one of the big favorites overall to make it through into the Vegas finals. Obviously, all these teams are getting so good. Bear Huggers, even, a lot of people wrote them off. They all of a sudden were able to take out Refuse to Die. They've been playing really theoretically correct. I'm so excited with the level of play. You know, Clutch, you were talking about in the very beginning at qualifiers. It is here. WGLNA is here. It's here to just prop up everybody, all of the players, and get them to that level where they can compete with the Russians, the Europeans, the Asians. It's happening.
That's right. It is happening, and this is just Season 1. We have multiple seasons ready and pretty much getting planned right now with the storylines of how these teams develop today throughout these 3 weeks of season play into the finals and how they're going to develop into Season 2. You cannot write off the teams that are unfortunately not going to be joining us in Vegas because they have even more to fight for when it comes to Season 2. And I'm so looking forward to that. And, of course, I'm looking forward to having a great time in Las Vegas itself. Let's go ahead and talk about the rule format. For those that are still getting accustomed to the 7x42 format, for the esports side of World of Tanks, it's 7 players per team, 42 tier points per team. The highest tier of tank you can choose is 8. Each match, including tonight, each match will be a best of 5. Now, if there are draws, which does happen in World of Tanks, we will continue to exhaust the map pool. If the map pool is ended, tonight will be different because we usually had a draw system where they both get 1 point.
I know what's happening.
If not, it'll be a shootout. And if we do have that scenario, that will be a lot of fun. We'll explain it further. So there will be.
Can I explain it, please?
I'll let Gritorp explain it.
Okay, think of a football match, a soccer match, right? You're tied up. You want to go into overtime, but we've exhausted all the maps. What do? We go into penalty kicks, right? So each person takes their line. They try to score for the team. Instead, in World of Tanks, we're lining people up on Malinovka. We give the countdown, and they just go at it. It's just going to be a big, fat brawl in an open area. That means it might sound very, I would say, derpy, but there's a lot of strategy that you can do. A lot of quick thinking and prioritizing is one of the most important things in such an open field.
That's right. It's almost Revolutionary War style, a type of lining up and shooting.
Yeah.
If it does come down to that, that will...
They get to move around, though. It's not like they have to sit
Yeah.
there. It's like, fire! Okay, your side.
will be unprecedented. Let's go ahead and take a look at the groups one more time of all the teams that participated in Season 1 play. For Group A, the Alpha Division, we have Fulcrum Gaming, Turtle Police, Bear Huggers, and Simple Tankers. They were the teams that were invited. The teams that qualified were River of Blood, Refuse to Die, Scurry Hard, and the Cazadores. For Group B, the Bravo Division, the invited teams were Simplistic, Nerve, Cunninghams, and the invited teams were Simp, Mop 4 Strike, and Wreak Havoc.
Yeah.
The qualified teams were Simplistic, Nerve, Cunninghams, and Ermagerd Kernavern. When I read Ermagerd Kernavern, I thought, wait a second, they were not invited. They qualified because we had to watch them lose in the qualifier number 1, but to see them win in qualifier number 2, which was a great story for them. And Trouble 2 has been a fun guy to talk to. Unfortunately, he's not with that team anymore, but seeing the rest of the teammates try to come together and build themselves up after that, it's going to be, again, another team to look forward to in Season 2, hopefully.
Yeah, they've been playing fantastically. I mean, they dipped down in the middle of the season. Now they're back full throttle, ready to go. I'm looking forward to how they play and what they do with their opportunity.
Me too. And Randall, since we have you on set tonight, seeing the different members, including River of Blood and Simple Tankers, which I hear are actually both part of Clan Simp, your thoughts moving in tonight? Do you think everyone's expectations are at a huge acceleration right now?
At this point, I've been actually reading the chat between these two teams, and they are just having tons of fun right now. They're just joking about RD jousting and T1 fighting. They're pretty relaxed right now, and the competition is obviously there, but I mean, they're just gonna have fun with it, win or lose. I think we're gonna see some fun matches.
I think so too. This is going to be a great night. We have a lot of people watching tonight to find out who's going to be at Vegas. And we're going to have some people there as well that are from some of the teams that maybe were not able to be there so they can see what all the fun is. And we invite you guys to check it out. It's August 17th and 18th at Treasure Island in Las Vegas. Admission is free, so you don't have to pay anything when you walk through the door. All you have to do is to get there yourselves. And make sure as well to follow us on our different social media sites so you can join the conversation and hear more information about different seasons coming up and different promotions that we're going to have on Twitter at WGLNA, on Facebook, WGLNA, also the VODs on WGLNA.com. And make sure to go to Reddit as well, reddit.com/r/World of Tanks, and check out the forums at forum.worldoftanks.com, where a lot of people like to give their thoughts and opinions, not just on esports, but on all things World of Tanks.
What's nice about it, it's done very, very nicely. Everybody is just completely mannered on Reddit, and you can expect the utmost quality from responses and replies.
Troll. No, you see a lot of great videos and a lot of great things about tanks.
Just Class A stuff.
It is. We're going to take a quick break. When we come back, we're going to have the first game ready for you. Don't go anywhere. Tonight is the tiebreakers and then the playoffs. We'll see you in a little bit. Welcome back to WGL North America. I am Joshua Clutch Gray. Joining me on the set, I have Andre Gritorp Hengshua as we bring you guys all the action along with Randall Rookhill Holcomb. Tonight it's going to be River of Blood versus Simple Tankers, both members of Clan Simp. And the winner will be a guaranteed spot for Las Vegas. The loser will be facing another opponent tonight to find out if they'll go to Vegas.
Yeah, just to break it down, guys, this is for the third place match of the division. And as Clutch just said, the winner does not have to go through all of the troubles of playoff. Now, it might not sound too bad, but that's an extra series that you can lose. All of a sudden, you're relegated out of the league. You will not be participating in the Las Vegas trip. You have to re-qualify for Season 2. That is a lot to do, Clutch.
It is a lot to do, and I would actually want a guaranteed spot in Vegas and have to play another series. And last night, that was kind of the case as well. Every match mattered for most of those teams to determine what their spot was, 4th place, 5th place. And we're going to actually hear from both of the leaders of these two different teams in our face-off. Gentlemen, thank you for joining us as we get into the face-off here. I believe both of them are ready. There they are. There they are. All right, River of Blood, I'm going to go to you first. No armor tonight, unfortunately. But first off, congratulations on making it this far in the league. You are up against Simple Tankers. You obviously want to win this next match, but are you prepared to face another series after Simple Tankers to make it to Vegas?
I think so. I mean, you know, just because we happened to beat them the first time, I don't take them lightly by any means. You know, I mean, little things here and there can change how the battle goes. So I didn't. I had to work 14 hours yesterday, so I got home late last night, watched the streams, kind of take note of what was going on, and I think as long as we kind of keep it Muhammad Ali style, and you know, rope a dope around the map and not be too predictable, I'm confident we can do well.
All right, rope a dope. I like it. Do you have any words for your opponent?
Well, you know, we both kind of had a diplomacy phase where we were both trying to talk each other into. We're like, oh, you know, you should go down and you'll win the next one anyway. You'll be fine. And so, you know, I just keep that in mind. I'm sure you'll win in the 4 versus 5 slot. No problem. You know, don't worry about this one.
Can I get a promise that if it goes to map number 8, you guys just bring out all togs?
Yeah, I could do that.
I'm willing to do it.
What about match number 5? Could we go proc with all 5 ISUs? I haven't gotten to do that yet. If we get to 5, would you agree to that?
No, I don't think anyone would move. I don't think that'd be a good idea.
Okay, but I have an agreement.
Go right over the middle.
I have an agreement. If it's match number or battle number 8, all togs. If you don't go all togs, it's automatically disqualification.
I'll even shave my head. I had my clippers for my face-off versus Lord Commander, but that one didn't get shown. I was gonna be like, side bet.
Oh. Okay,
maybe,
Junior.
Maybe match 6 will do the ISUs. Make it interesting.
Maybe. Well, it's going to be interesting seeing you guys go head-to-head regardless for tonight. Now, you had some recent tough losses in your last couple matches in league play. Has that been difficult on your team for the morale factor, or have you rallied the troops and you prepared to face River of Blood tonight?
You know, I was trying to put that behind me, so thanks for reminding me. But
rub in that lemon.
Ouch. Yeah, it's definitely had its toll. It has its toll on every team, but hopefully it's not too big, and we can. It has been a lot of very small, minor things, even on my end, and hopefully we can pick that up and we solve it all around.
And any words for your opponent, Captain Blood?
I can't be too harsh on him. So, same clan. I have to show some love. I think that it's interesting that one of us may be playing simplistic later, so it's a simp on simp on simp action. But exactly. I wish him the best of luck. I want to see 3 simp teams in Vegas.
All right. Now it's time for the coin toss. I believe River of Blood is the higher seed, so go ahead and call it in the air.
I'm sticking with tails.
All right. Flip the coin. It is tails. River of Blood, you have map choice, or do you choose to defer?
I will defer.
Junior, your choice.
Haha.
Oh, don't do that to me. He's taunting me, guys. I got my headset meta and everything.
Junior, you're at the office. Defer again.
Defer. I can't have this. Can I just disqualify him? Can I elect for that?
No.
Can we do El Haloof? Can we just put that in rotation? That'll be fun.
No, it has to be the 8-map rotation.
Oh, man. Okay, so this is tough. We'll go... it's between 2 maps, and I'm really thinking about this one. Let's go with Ensk.
Ensk will be the map choice.
Yeah.
Your side, Captain Blood?
South.
South side. River of Blood will spawn south side on Ensk. Best of luck to you, gentlemen.
Thank you.
Best of luck.
Good luck.
All right.
Man, those guys make it very hard to root against either of them.
It's hard to root against Simp in general because they're so interwoven throughout our league because they're a big clan and they perform very, very well.
And, you know, obviously Junior's in the backs. No matter what, we're going to...
And Rookill's on set.
Yeah, Rookill's over here. But also, it's like, after you know, really getting to know Captain Blood, I really, really want him to come to Vegas.
I
want
to
meet him.
I want him to bring his full armor set.
He's so cool. He is so cool, man. How it stands right now, though, there's only 55 seconds left in the match, or in the battle. Nothing of value will probably happen here.
No, nothing of value is going to happen. 47 seconds left on the
J-Smooth
clock.
will pop out here. He is spotted by his opponents.
Well, Simple Tankers crossing the rails. 40 seconds left.
Nothing.
J-Smooth getting destroyed by the IS-3 and River of Blood. Simple Tankers now pushing down at the 35 section. Are they going to fully commit here? I think they're going to try to get at least one kill on a tier 8 before the time runs out. If River of Blood does not move from that spot, it could happen. However, it's going to be just in the nick of time if it does. 20 seconds left on the clock. Simple Tankers now passing the enemy territory, past the F line, trying to scout anything they can. They all have to hit the same target if they're going to get that kill or an ammo rack, but no, they're not going to get it in time.
Z-Slayer, careful.
Doppler's a fantastic
Z-Slayer, be
position.
careful. I do want to mention that they can lose one tier 8 and still be okay, but it's not going to matter. Draw is inevitable, ladies and gentlemen. When we come back, battle number 2 between Simple Tankers and River of Blood after this.
And here we are. River of Blood are the blue team to the north, Simple Tankers to the south. What are the tanks they have, Retort?
River of Blood is sporting 3 IS-3s. Oh my gosh, River of Blood. You guys are so intelligent. And 2 AMX 5100s. Other side is the same thing, actually. So we have a mirror matchup from last battle, where Simple Tankers are bringing 2 AMX 5100s, 2 IS-3s, and 1 T69. I just feel like Simple Tankers were just too scared last game, probably because of the Great Torp build. 3 IS-3s, 4 IS-3s, etc.
Randall, are we seeing reverse meta here? Are we seeing hill play from both different teams?
It looks like it, and that'll be tons of fun because it looks like it might even be a 4v5. I wonder who will come out on top because it looks like Canada might stay behind while the rest of Simple Tankers, all 5, will head to the hill.
And Clutch, 4 is less than 5. I did the math. You don't have to do it.
Thank you. Good to know. But if you land your shots correctly and there are a couple bounces, it could be a 4 beats 5 in this type of setting. But
Very
we'll see.
unlikely, though. Very
Very unlikely, of course. IS-3 is right behind the 5100s here, moving up the hill. And it's Simple Tankers that are up next to the castle first here. As they spawn to the south. Arg is spotted. Captain Blood is spotted. J Smooth is spotted. But I don't see any heavy tanks were spotted for River of Blood here, as Junior tries to set up behind the castle, and now the 5100 Striker along with Doppler is trying to move out. Doppler going into a side position here and just going straight for it and probably going to turn to the side, scouting through to see if he can see any type of heavy tanks.
Wow, this is
movement.
so dangerous because right around the corner, Striker is going to be caught out here. It's very hard for him to get good crossfire now.
It is hard indeed. Doppler's down. First blood goes to Simple Tankers, and they are at the 42 tier point lead. Striker at 1100 out of 14 is being chased by Z-Slayer and Pub Whisperer, and no one else is. No, the rest of the heavies are going to help Striker pull back here and try to land some shots against Pub Whisperer, but there's one shot, 2 shots, 120 out of 1400 as Z-Slayer and Pub Whisperer are hurting, and now the chase is on from River of Blood as they're going to turn that castle corner, line up those hits, and get that revenge kill. Z-Slayer goes down. Now River of Blood turns the tables and is in the lead.
This is where the IS-3s become just so useful. They're able to have that consistent fire while everybody is still on cooldown. 34 points to 26 in favor of River of Blood. Things are looking up.
They are looking up indeed, but Canada Duck, yeah, he will be joining his friends at the top. Captain Blood now scouting through that debris. See who's there. J Smooth's going to go down here. He just pokes out a little bit. Ruth Van Carlisle moving in with the IS-3, moving back. It's going to be a dance between these two teams here around this debris. River of Blood just simply has to commit to one of these sides, and they're going to lay waste to Simple Tankers.
They
there
beat the
goes,
shot.
Oh,
there
man,
goes
they
J
made
Smooth.
2 shots on that 1T1. Really misplayed there, but now they're going to use it as cover. A nice hold down, but honestly, it's not that big.
Not that big. Not that big of a cover indeed, especially the way it's angled. The more shots ringing out between these two teams. That could be at 269. He goes down. Canada Duck with that kill. Striker launching shots against the 88 HP. Striker gets the kill against Ruth Van Carlisle. And now River of Blood has a huge lead, an undeniable lead, as Junior, the only one left alive in a tier 8 tank, will be surrounded by the rest of River of Blood, and this will be a win for River of Blood here on Himmelsdorf.
Junior, unfortunately, just not able to do nearly enough damage to win the battle. They're going to look for a T1 cap, but that's going to get shut down as well. So Junior is the last tier 8 to be killed here. He's moving really fast. No longer.
No longer. Kill Panic, only one left. He's on the run. But it's only going to be a matter of time. That time could be 5 minutes and 40 seconds, or it could be as soon as one of those shells lands against that T1. For it to be a victory for River of Blood, I was excited to see some play on the hill. River of Blood was hurt at first by Simple Tankers, but they were able to get those shots necessary to take down the rest of their team. Doppler, the first one to go, was so pushed out, moving a little bit too far. But Simple Tankers was in a good setup to take him out, but River of Blood was able to get those revenge hits, line up their shots, take down what's left. There's the smash from Striker. And there you have River of Blood takes the first victory in battle number 2, and they are up 1-0. We'll be right back.
You know, last game,
Alright.
I'm sorry, last game was a clear example of me to the weaknesses of Simple Tankers. 4v5, yet they do not use their 4v5, or I should say 5v4. They don't use their advantages, and it comes down to the one reason that I was talking about in the beginning. They are not decisive enough. They are not able to make those calls and commit to them. And when they do commit to them, they hesitate like crazy, and that's what ends up killing them. It was 4v5 initially, but Canada on the low ground was able to come up for the first real big engagement, so I really didn't feel like it was a 4v5.
I felt like that was the second engagement. The first one, you saw advantage taken.
It was a lot of running though, right?
Yes.
And yes, there were advantages taken. There were a lot of also shots being missed. But you go big or go home.
You have to go big or go home.
Yeah.
You have to go big or go home.
Some of the
because
shots that
Vegas
were
is on the
taken
line.
were kind of, I would say, dubious.
It wasn't well executed at all, especially when you have that type of advantage, but that comes down to information gathering as well. And you have to assess immediately. Sometimes it is going to be a bit of a guess because you don't know if there's another heavy behind the 4 that you've seen.
Hold up, guys, because we might see some action here in a moment as there are pings coming out and there are tanks spotted. We have 2 IS-3s, Ruth and Carlisle and Zakume getting spotted. This could be a cap fast, and I think I might have called it. North to the east, south to the west.
This is very common, south to the north. North side is the only real spawn that can be capped consistently, just because there's a lot of cover and a lot of screening potential. And we're going to see that right now. Let's see how Simple Tankers are able to take advantage of this situation.
We have seen this trying to be executed by other teams in the past, but not using that ring around the rosy type flank by going down that E-line, F-line road and trying to hit those tanks where Captain Blood and Savagery currently are in those IS-3s. Now we're going to get some shots from the Delta Village, but Junior in the 1390 cruising up to the other heavy that is going to try to engage Doppler, Canada, and Striker is a good move as long as Captain Blood and his compatriot go down. Captain Blood, first one to die on the map. And that is a big, big victory for Simple Tankers.
14 seconds left, so they do need to start spreading out that damage against all the people. Yes, the cap will be reset. Looks like it gets reset once. Doppler now going to engage against Junior and Tarho. A perfect screen over here. And the one line able to stop Doppler from getting any shots to reset the cap. That 5100 represents the most common tank to reset cap points.
Tarho can't fully commit here because the other tanks are trying to line him up, but now trying to get those shots. The cap is over. It goes to Simple Tankers. We'll be right back with the next battle after this. Time to roll out. And what are they rolling out with, Andre?
2 T69s, 2 1390s, and a WZ-132 for River of Blood. On the other side, we got a Pershing.
Yes.
Pershings have been playing really well as of late. The last week, every single Pershing to be brought out has, I would say, anecdotally played very, very well. But besides that, 2 T69s and 2 1390s. Now, I do want to say something. I'm going to give you some evidence, and I want you to create the narrative, or I want you to at least see my narrative right now. These two teams know it's a high-pressure scenario. Now, from what we've seen, they've come up with very interesting strategies. Definitely within reason, but at the same time, they're sticking to the strategies. Would you say that they've practiced the same strategies over and over and over again. They're just not used to the responses of their opponents.
I say that they have practiced these strategies over and over again. They're not used to the responses of themselves. I think that when their shot caller is telling them to do something, they're doubting it. They're saying, no, let's do this. And they're not pulling on that trigger because they're hesitant on pushing in. They're hesitant on taking that gamble. They want to try to play it safe.
Well, maybe you are right. Maybe it's a little mixture of both of us. The shot callers are just not expecting their opponents, and because of that,
That's
what's
true.
happening
It kind of
is
throws a wrench in the whole
exactly.
process.
Now all of a sudden it's like everybody has an opinion. They're not listening to the shot caller. We're onto something, Clutch.
We are.
Clutch, I'm pretty sure we can go into like a Discovery Channel murder mystery and solve every single one of those unsolved mysteries right now.
Or you guys could start a pro team.
We could, but right now we're going to see one of the first tanks
Randall,
being scouted here on the west.
Stop it with your logic.
Do we see it? Is he going to spot him? They're so close. First spot's going
There
down.
it
There we
is.
go. Oh, multiple spots from
Boom.
River of Blood here. And the first blood does go to Captain Blood, taking down Mournblade in that T1. They still see 3 of the tanks there on that side. He is going to boogie out as Endress is the only T1 left alive.
Yeah, the problem is it's still on their opponent's side of the map, or it's still on Captain Blood's side of the, I keep saying Captain Blood, River of Blood side of the map. And it's the 2 1390s and the WZ-132. So yes, it does tell them 3 tier 8 tanks are there, but they're all tier 8 light tanks. They're all tanks that can get around the map and be anywhere at once. So what their opponents, what simple tankers are trying to find out is, where are your T-69s? That is the focal point of where most of your attacks will stem from. That's your powerhouse play right there. The 1390s do represent a glass cannon, but they need to be super mobile. They're not good at fighting on the fly, fighting on, I guess,
On the
moving.
move, yeah.
Yeah.
While moving, those WC-132s, that's what they excel at in comparison to the 1390s. That's why they're a good battle buddy to have here on such an open map. River Blood swinging around to the north. Now they're going to hit into that eastern valley, which provides a lot of cover from pretty much the entire rest of the map. But as they push further south, they will spot that one tank moving closer north to them. So if they keep going, you will be able to get to that tank, River of Blood. And Simple Tankers will be down another tank here. Tank spotted. They do see at least 2. The rest of them have not been hit yet. Captain Blood calling for his folks to swing back a little bit.
Yeah.
As the 2 will push a little bit further, but are not be able to kill that tank in
And
time.
yet again, I forgot to mention this, but Junior is in a 1390. How many times do we see Junior in a 1390?
Not
And he's
very
going to try
many.
to escape. This is not
428.
smart.
428 of 1,100 here. Another shot. 2 shots missing. Another one hitting 191.
And
Damn.
down he goes. And this is what I'm talking about. We don't see Junior in a 1390 all too often. Really, never. He's always in a T69. He's always in, well, not really a T1. We've seen him in, have we seen him in 5100s? For sure. Mostly it's his T69.
It's
He
mostly
plays
we see Junior
a
T69.
lot of T69 play from him. We never see him in the 1390, and all of a sudden he goes down first, being so far out of position. Ruka, what went wrong with that scout run?
He was attempting to scout run, but he didn't have any proper cover, and there was no proper control to punish anyone who would come and fire at him. You saw him try to escape, and no one took any fire in return. That's not how you need to make a scout run. Their team needs to be in position to punish anyone who would attempt to put fire onto you as a scout.
Yeah.
That kind of scouting was scouting for scouting's sake, not scouting to get damage or position or gain at any advantage.
What's worse is they're also down one of those T1s, so it's not like simple tankers can easily just kill a T1, have that 7-point disadvantage, and still draw it out. From here, simple tankers are saying, how the heck do we start to engage against our opponents? This is so difficult.
River of Blood's in the advantage position of the defense right now. And they've set up a defense. They've done this in the past on steps. They don't have to push in. They don't have to go in for the kill. They can simply hang back. But now they're going to try to push in a little bit here as they get some more rock pressure.
Oh, here we go. Pub Whisper in his T69 is going to shove up here. This is a gigantic tell. As I said, the T69s are the focal points of where you are trying to attack from. So for Pub Whisper to be this far up, they have to know every tank is right behind him.
Savage E getting some shots landed against him, 377 to 110, but Doppler moves back to try to get some hits. One of the shots he does not land. Pub Whisperer does get hit, but Tarho moving way too far in there. Jay Smooth and the Pershing going to take the advance on Simple Tankers.
Well, Kill Panic is going to be isolated over to here. He has good crossfire, but all of a sudden Canada says hello, and down he's going to go, down to 447. One more shot will kill Panic, and down he goes.
But that will initiate a push from Simple Tankers. J-Smooth and Tarho will jump onto Doppler. In the far west, he is cornered, going to 130. And Tarho will go down.
Yep, Jay Smooth and that Pershing pushing in against that Doppler position, but Jay Smooth, will he hold out against Captain Blood? One more hit, Captain Blood will go down. Come on, Jay Smooth, trying to land that shot in that Pershing, but no, it's going to be 3 tanks against 1. He's going to get rectified here. T69 moving around the corner, will not be able to clean up what is left.
And a miss out of Jay Smooth, not able to kill Captain Blood. Only Pub Whisperer remains, and it doesn't look like he's going to have a choke.
No, Pub Whisperer 340 at a 1350, 75, 60. Is he going to go down? Well, he will go down at 69. Canada Duck lining up that last shot on the T69, or is he clipping? Could be reloading as he's calling for the rest of his teammates to help him out at 1390. Striker moves in for the shot. More shots from the T1. Pub Whisperer backing up. Both of them are going to be reloaded by this time. One more shot, he's going to go down. Canada Duck stops, fires, gets the kill. And River of Blood is able to take battle number 4. 2 on 1.
But there is a T1 left.
Yep, they still got to take that T1.
So you're saying there's a chance?
There's no chance. They have 2 minutes and 17 seconds before we declare the victor officially, but Andaris cannot do anything as T1 except kill the other T1s. River of Blood at a 26 tier point lead here. There goes a couple more shots from the T1. AMX 1390 moving in. There's the kill. Now it's official. River of Blood takes battle number 4 over Simple Tankers, but it's not over yet as we move into battle number 5 after this. Let's get this show on the road, is what one of the commanders shouted to his tanks. And what kind of show are we going to see with what different tanks?
Whoa. Look at this. 2 T-32s for both teams. And from there, we have 2 T-69s and a WZ-132 from River of Blood. But then a Pershing, a 1390 and the WZ-132. No autoloader medium tank, no T-69s. That is so unusual. The T-69 is the most common tank picked among every single team.
And Waterside has been spotted as we see tanks from Simple Tankers moving across the island into the lighthouse section. Another tank has been spotted to the north side for Simple Tankers. They have the information, but now one of their medium tanks has been hit with that scouting information. No shots fired yet for either team as they have full HP pools. Junior is able to scout in even closer, and Striker taking those initial hits, and he gets the first kill on that T1. Striker at 693 HP. Has to back out as Kill Panic tries to make a move against him as Junior covers his advance, but he's going to take some hits from Canada Duck along the way in those T-32s. They do get hit themselves. 439 in that WZ-132. He's going to have to get behind those rocks as Kill Panic puts himself in a really good position to stop that waterside play from River of Blood.
This is going to pin Striker in a very, very difficult place. And all of a sudden, look at this T-32. If he wants to poke out, he has like a small little place where he can hold down, but for the most part, he will not be able to be held down. Pershing able to do a lot of damage. Doppler taking so much down to 839 health. Canada Duck taking another shot. Kill Panic pushing out just slightly to get his shots onto Doppler, doing amazing damage. Doppler down to 148, and down he will go. Unreal.
That is huge for Simple Tankers to take down that T-32. Captain Blood in the WZ-132 trying to push out. He does get the kill against Kill Panic, but that Pershing can meet him head on in that WZ-132.
Man. And
nice shot by Jay Smooth.
The WZ-132 is super paper thin with its armor. It is not able to receive shots all that well. That means as soon as Captain Blood is out of position, he will be punished. What's worse is that he's in water. Goes slightly slower in water, so you can't really utilize that speed advantage. Playing corner games against a Pershing, No me gusta.
And the heavies from Simple Tankers are now going to turn that corner into the water side itself. They had complete map control, and now they're going to be the cleanup crew. That WC-132, you are gone, Captain Blood, as Jay Smooth gets that shot and that kill. Now, Mournblade in his T-32 is going to advance against Striker in his T-69. 829 HP against 86. This is going to be another kill for Simple Tankers. Lining up that shot, T-69 is going to go down, trying to take down anything he can of Mournblade, but it's that slow climb of death. But Jay Smooth and the Pershing performing so well on this map. They're going to clean up the rest of River of Blood as they only have one T-69 left, and that is Doc Golem.
Look at this, and he's being so bold with this. He's pushing all the way up the hill, Pub Whisperer that is, with his T-32 only one shot away. But can you pen a T-32 with just a turret showing? Guess what? No, you cannot. You have to go into a position where you can get the sides. But all of a sudden, boom! Pershing comes out, Jay Smooth, ready to do damage, and Mournblade is going to get the shot from downtown in his T-32. Beautiful game from Simple Tankers. Me gusta. I keep talking in Spanish. I don't know why.
We're so excited. We're going to take a break after this as we go into overtime of Simple Tankers versus River of Blood.
Okay, I would like to see Tog 2s on which map?
Prokhorovka.
Could you?
That would be great.
Charge in 10 minutes.
Yeah.
All right, the T1s now.
We'd have to
fight.
raise the cap to 20 minutes for them to actually engage.
45. More shots from Arg, trying to hit Tarho. Tarho at 92 HP, 56 HP now as Arg is going to win this battle if Tarho decides to push out. He does not. Hitting the tree instead. Taking his aggression out on the tree after losing a fight, just like bullies do. Take their aggression out on someone else. But Arg gets the kill as Kill Panic moves into 1390. More like a big brother taking care of his small brother's problems.
Look, guys, a kill.
There is a kill. 12 seconds left on the clock. This is going to end in a draw, folks, as we are going to move into the next map, either Abbey or Prokhorovka between these two different teams.
Canada's just going to smash buildings, also taking out his aggression.
All right, and there we go. It is a draw. Stay tuned as we get prepared for battle number 7 after this.
But he should be able to, if they can spot Captain Blood, he should be able to escape slightly to the south and east.
Dopper's trying to shoot across the field.
And
he does get a land.
He could get into the grass.
Okay, maybe this crossfire is going to be a distraction, similar to
50 seconds left. Similar to before, what you're saying, Andre, but now they're just going to camp.
I was just going to say it's similar to the march on Mordor. Just a big distraction.
Oh.
Big diversion.
Yes. Aragorn and everyone. Yeah. Frodo.
Well, what else could I be referencing?
Well,
everybody's supposed to know.
Operation.
There are people who don't know.
Operation Bodyguard, which was used in World War II.
That's impossible.
You ever hear about that?
No, I haven't.
Yeah.
We used a bunch of flotation devices to stage a invasion right before D-Day to trick the enemy to where we're actually going to land. An Operation Bodyguard.
Wow, cool.
Yeah, bunch of inflatable play tanks and stuff everywhere. And that was actually they even sent, I think, Patton around the Mediterranean for a little while to make it seem to the Germans that they were setting something up, because the Germans thought Patton was a big deal.
It's going to be a draw, and that means we're going to
battle number 8, ladies and gentlemen.
Number 8. I can't believe this is happening. All right, stay tuned, folks. This will be the last battle between these two players, between these two teams. If this is a draw, we go into a shootout. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back.
Top 2. Top 2. Top 2. Top 2.
All right, we'll see what Simple Tankers is going to do in this position since the shots have been fired in that revenge kill. They're going to move to the south with most of their heavy tanks, but one medium and one heavy will stay to the northern side. Simple Tankers wants to try to take down at least one of the scouts if they can move around the bend. One of the scouts and one of the heavies in the center has been scouted. So you hit Laps. Laps like, woo, I'm getting out of here as he goes down, takes even more damage.
No, Laps. He is 0 and 3 against the Rock. That's right, that Rock comes out of nowhere sometimes.
It does, it's a very tough opponent. 1 minute 13 seconds. Now Simple Tankers might turn the bend here. See Wu Jr. moving out of the way of Z-Slayer, but Z-Slayer saying, no, you go first. No, you go first. No, they're going to turn around both. Now they're going to go to the north side. One of the heavies moving into the center in the Abbey section, and he does have one of the mediums trying to circle around and get a flank on him if he can, but they do see the heavy with 1 minute 32 seconds left on the capture. Nothing can capture right now on the side of Simple Tankers' flag cap unless they have 3 tanks there to get the capture. Arg at that T1 still trying to walk it. Ooh, shots fired against Doc Golem in the rear. That T69, 733 to 1350. Pub Whisper in a great spot to get that kill. 135, lines it up. Yes, it!
Down he goes.
31 seconds left on the clock.
It's even still.
It's even as Canada Duck gets a kill again. Pub Whisper and Striker now duking it out. 427 to 851.
Just one more shot.
This is
20
not
seconds
good.
left.
This is not good for Simple Tankers. They're now down.
That exactly 8 points. They need a kill. Junior is right on top. He's on fire. Striker on fire.
Striker 162.
Oh, it's a miss. Oh.
Junior gets a kill at 9 seconds. It's still tied up. 18 and 18. 7 seconds left on the clock. 5, 4, 3,
It's drawn.
2, 1. It's gonna be a shootout! It's gonna be a shootout! We're gonna take a break. We're gonna confirm with our admins how to set this up. Don't go anywhere. This is history in the making.
Talk two.
Welcome back to WGLNA as we get ready for the shootout between two teams that are tied. It's River of Blood versus Simple Tankers. This is a first. This is in our rule system as we have our admins confirm exactly how this is going to play out for both the teams so they know exactly what's going to happen. And this is crazy, man. First time we're ever going to see this.
Remember, in regular group stages, there are no shootouts because it's group stages, right? We're just trying to discriminate who's the very, very best and who's the very, very worst and say who do we want to have in this final tournament. Now we're in playoffs, though. It's no longer group stages. That's why we have things like shootouts. When it's really, really close, it comes down to this. I mean, they had 8 games to really discriminate who is the better team. It's very difficult. Obviously, it's going to go down to this. We've seen this throughout history, right? So many World Series, World Cups have come down to shootouts, penalty kicks. It's going to be very exciting.
And the reason why we implemented this is so that you, the viewers, will not have to watch draw after draw after draw because many of these teams are pitted against each other, have very, very similar skill types or talent that they're going up against. And instead of us watching no one want to lose, there has to be a winner, there has to be a loser, and that's why we introduced the shootout for this rule format. So it's not something new that we're just introducing tonight. It's been there since day one. All the teams have had access to this rule book before they even join the league, and this is the first time we have to execute it. So I'm excited that we do have that in our rules because I, for one, would not want to watch a draw after draw after draw after draw because it starts to kill the hype and the entertainment value of any game. So that's why we have it. And that's why you have penalty kicks and other things in other sports as well.
I do want to say something very quickly about the TOGs because this is going to be, I'm sure, an issue for the teams if, whether they think it or not. But at least for me as a player, if I'm going into this, it's very unlikely that we have 8 draws or 7 draws and then we go to the 8th battle. So I can understand, like, yeah, let's do the TOG 2s. I've seen that before in StarCraft, right? I used to be a StarCraft 2 professional. There was this one time where they're like, hey, let's just go SCVs against SCVs and find out who's going to be the last one. I was like, oh, yeah, if it ever gets to that. And then I got to that, and I really didn't want to do it because obviously that's not a good discriminator. I still felt like I was the better player. So I wouldn't be surprised, okay? I'm sorry to burst people's bubbles, but I wouldn't be surprised if they didn't bust out with the TOG 2s because they want to keep doing this and take it seriously, very, very seriously, as serious as they can. Not saying that 2 TOG 2s or 2 teams with TOG 2s wouldn't be serious because let's be honest, that you have the same.
It's a viable strategy.
Correct.
I mean, you could do it because
no.
what
I'm saying is you all have the same capabilities. You have the same HP pool. You have the same DPM. Then it comes down to how you prioritize, how you screen stuff. It's the same stuff. It's not as dynamic as, let's say, the whole 5100, T69 lineups, et cetera, So that's all I'm saying. Don't put so much pressure on the players.
No.
I've not helped that, of course, but I just want to put it out there that at any point they could change their minds and be like, no.
When we have people that are watching World of Tanks esports for the first time, they're familiar with the TOG 2. That was actually the first premium tank I ever bought. I'm not recommending it to be the first premium tank you ever buy because it's a very, very slow tank. But for a city map, if you're able to coordinate with a platoon with a TOG 2, you can accomplish some great things.
Did you know that the TOG 2 has the highest armor in Tier 6? Highest amount of armor. Did you know that?
No, I knew it had the highest amount of HP.
Yeah, it has the highest amount of armor just because of how big it is.
Yeah, it's huge.
It's spread out, though, so it's like nothing.
Okay, did you know, I might have already told you this, but the first map that I ever played with my TOG 2 was Sand River.
That's a great map. Great map.
Sand River is a long, big map with just a couple hills and valleys and a small village, but that's it.
Yeah.
So it's a little bit difficult to try to see the capabilities of a Tog 2, but we do see some GIFs and funny things on Reddit. By the way, make sure to check out reddit.com/r/World of Tanks for a lot of cool stuff. But one of them was this little video, and it had 5 Togs moving into a flag cap, and it kept the T1 Cunninghams and the other people in the center safe,
yeah.
and they won because of it.
I have a question.
Sure.
Just historically, who in their right mind thought, hey, let's make a Tog 2, because I think this will perform really well in warfare?
The British.
The British did.
They thought it was a great idea.
Well, and it's also to cover infantry. If you think about it, a tank is trying to cover infantry. You have a multiple squad or 2 platoons.
I see that now.
2 platoons can hide behind a Tog 2 going through enemy cover or enemy fire. They use that cover to go through.
Yeah. So if I'm a Tog, basically I can only use Togs if I'm fighting for Britain. I can only use Togs if I have complete ground control.
Or you're pushing into enemy territory and your infantry needs to move to the other section of a city, and across those streets you have a Tog go out first. They cross behind the Tog, and the Tog keeps moving.
But if there are any other enemy tanks, my Tog is dying, and so is all of my infantry, right?
Well, it's better to keep your infantry alive than to lose one tank. Well, I don't know.
They're all going to die. Well, no. Stay with me. They're all going to die.
It depends on what tanks you're up against, too.
Okay.
So
what does it not? It gets penned to an L tractor.
Yeah, but so does a tier 8.
Well, so does a tier 8 if you hit
so
it from
does
the
tier
rear.
8. But what I'm trying to say is, the guy that made the Tog 2 just was not thinking about it.
Well, you know what's great is that you can go to the wiki and look at the historical context of why this tank was developed to find out what type of role it was trying to play. You should do that. Because now with modern warfare, the American forces have one tank because it fills pretty much all the roles it needs to in today's warfare.
Yep. It's light tank, medium tank, heavy tank, and an artillery.
It's an MBT, sir. It's called an MBT, main battle tank.
Yeah, thanks, Rootkill. Thank you.
It's the evolution of the heavies, mediums, lights, but they decided let's just go with MBT.
Do you know what we use as an APC?
What do we use as an APC?
Wait, depleted uranium.
No. A Bradley, an armored personnel carrier. Yeah. It's a Bradley.
Oh, I was
they
thinking
got the little tow missiles. You know what I'm talking about?
No.
No?
Not a clue.
It is cool to see the evolution of that different type of technology we've used.
Do you know what they use as big carriers these days? They're called medevacs. They have this boost. Makes them go so fast.
Inside joke for the esports personnel out there. All right, so let's actually talk about our other matches we have tonight. So, because of this 3-way tie that's going on, Cazadores and Turtle Police were 2-2-2 in battle number 7. We don't have an update yet about them. We also have Cunningham's versus Wreak Havoc, which started at 6 o'clock and is still going on, or at least I haven't heard an update yet for that match. 7 o'clock we have Simplistic versus EC, and then at 8 o'clock we'll determine who wins what for these first couple matches. We're going to go into the playoffs at 8 o'clock, and then after that we have our second playoffs at 9 o'clock, and then we'll have our full list. We'll know all 8 teams that we'll see in Las Vegas.
Really excited for that. Las Vegas, ladies and gentlemen, will be August 17th and 18th at Treasure Island. Now, we're going to get something ready for you to watch about that. But basically, we're going to have 2 days of nonstop action where these teams will be fighting for $100,000. It's a lot of money in any world. The esports world, the real world. 100K, it can take you places.
It can take you a lot of places, especially a lot of these people that need to pay off school debt. It's a little bit of that buffer to go out and have some fun.
Did you know school debt is about to surpass credit card debt in America?
I can believe it. I can believe it.
And it's going to surpass it at like a ridiculous rate, too.
Because interest rates just increased again for student loans.
I'm so sorry, man.
Anyways, Rootkill, how you doing over there in your little corner?
You just reminded me about my student loans. Why would you do that?
Hey, well, at least you have a good job and you enjoy it.
Yeah,
That's
got
what's
that
important.
Thank you. Now I feel much better. Awesome.
You know
So
what the trick
while
is,
you guys
Rootkill?
were what?
Don't go to school.
That's a great idea, Andre. I'll take that advice to heart.
Be responsible with the type of money you need to go to school. That's what I say.
Anyway, while you guys were talking about whatever, about Togs and such, I was trying to find a map of Malnovka, but I realized I don't have one to telestrate with, So I just kind of drew white lines for a while until I had a white background.
Or you could have loaded up one in. Could have loaded up one on the internet.
I tried to put icons on the map, but then once I started to try and draw lines after I drew icons, the big white line box thing that I drew like overlapped those, and it was funny. So I thought maybe if we had time, we could talk about the strategy that we'd see behind
we have plenty
teams.
of time. We still have a couple minutes. They have to get into position. So go ahead.
Okay, cool. So, Andre, at the base, the obvious strategy is you're going to try and focus fire, right? You're going to try and focus everyone on tank 1, or if you, depending on what tanks you bring, of course, you want to get as much alpha, like you've been thinking about IS-3s and stuff.
IS-3s, baby.
Yeah, or if you have 5100s, a lot of you just shoot once at a tank, and you will blow it up, right?
Correct.
Yeah, so then you have one tank down, and at the same time, though, what if you wanted to balance that with a great fire rate tank, consistent fire, but even more health and armor, so you get maybe a chance to bounce or something. I don't know what they're going to bring, but if they brought maybe like an all 5100 lineup, they'd all focus on that. But if they brought an IS-3 lineup, you'd see some crazy stuff. You could see, split fire, where 2 tanks would shoot at one, try and alpha it down real quick while they went for something else. I mean, ideally, focus fire mathematically works the best, but there's a little bit more than that, like using your allies as shields and such.
Yeah. Especially with the 5100s, like basically after you unload your entire clip with the 5100, do not expect to have another round.
All right, let's go ahead and jump into the game, guys, because they've now set up their different positions here. And they're on Molinovka. This will be the shootout. We just have to wait for the admin to tell them when to start firing. And when they do, we're going to see a bloodbath of these 2 different tanks. So let's go ahead and jump into the game right now as we see their different setup.
Oh, this is cool. 6 in the admin is in the very middle.
All right, 6 in the T1. He is our admin, declaring who to do what now. It's almost like that referee between a game of who's going to kick off, and he's going to blow the whistle. So we're only waiting on him to give the word.
It looks like they can start positioning, and you can see, let's just look at the positions real quick. L Tractor in front, T1 Cunningham just blocking a little bit of Striker right now. So obviously protecting the 5100s on the other side. We just have an entirely line setup. Of course, line setup not nearly as good with the L Tractor in front, but I'm sure he's going to start to move in front.
We will
move in front.
We will have a 30-second countdown announced, so we'll let you guys know we are 30 seconds right now before they start firing.
To let you know, 5100s have the highest amount of damage per 15 seconds.
Really? How much damage per 15 seconds? Did you calculate it? Do you remember the number, or is it just you
15 seconds until they start firing. 6 in is getting out of the way now. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, fire!
And there goes Z-Slayer, the first to go down. Then Junior, now Dopper goes down. Advantage 2. River of Blood, the Simple Tankers going to start dying. There's 2 tier 8s left for the Simple Tankers. They've lost to tier 1 now. There are 3 tier 8s left for River of Blood. Now there's only 1 tier 8 left for Simple Tankers.
This is it. This is it. Jay Smooth and is the only one left alive. Pay no attention to 6 in.
Wait, the tier 8s are out. All of the 5100s have unloaded completely. Jay Smooth is still alive. He's a consistent fire tank. They should have killed him, but now he's alive.
He's going to... if he's able to kill all these tanks that are still left alive, I'll be completely surprised. But it is a over 50-second reload time for the 5100s. The L Tractor trying to hit from the rear, trying to penetrate anything he can, but I don't think he will be able to in his tank.
Jay Smooth's going to do a lot of damage here. He could actually win this. I mean, if he ammo racks these guys a few times, he could have ammo racked Captain Blood. I'm actually going to jump onto Captain Blood.
No, they have to reload. Canada
though.
Duck is getting the fires on Jay Smooth. One more shot on Captain Blood. He gets the kill.
So he can, if he positions himself really nicely, he can actually stop this from happening. He's going to try.
9 health.
9 HP, and now he's sitting behind one of the carcasses
and
of the
can
tank.
he get the right
Canada
shot?
Duck
Yeah, he's going to get it.
Boom! River of Blood will be going to Las Vegas after that shootout. Congratulations to them. Wow. That was intense.
Yep.
And now we have finally seen a shootout here in World of Tanks. Congratulations, folks. You just saw the first shootout happen after a draw, after 8 round was over.
Yeah, 9 total battles, ladies and gentlemen. And kind of cool. You know, that's obviously the first time we saw it, but it's also, again, I make the analogy to penalty kicks. And I find penalty kicks so invigorating to watch. And this is the same, man.
This reminded
really
me
cool.
of a firing line, except it was a firing line of both sides.
Yeah,
Which is fun.
exactly.
We do have an update on the game of Simple Tankers versus River of Blood. After the River of Blood versus Simple Tankers shootout, it was brought to our attention that there was a misunderstanding of the rules by one of the teams. After further investigation by our admins, it was confirmed that inconsistent instruction was given to one of the team's captains. We then chose to extend the shootout to a best of 3 to maintain fairness to all parties involved. Simple Tankers went on to win the extended shootout 2-1. So to conclude our night, River of Blood will be doing battle against EC for the last playoff match. That means that Simple Tankers has a guaranteed spot in Las Vegas, and the next match that is going to be underway very soon, and the final match of tonight, and the final match of the playoffs and the regular play for Season 1 will be River of Blood versus EC. We apologize because of this, but we wanted to make it the most fair it could be. We appreciate the teams working with us for that to happen, and now we're going to have our final match of the night.